It's time for a Goose Creek Halloween candle unboxing. My name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you a lit review episode of the Scooby-Doo collab at Goose Creek. I have 2 boxes that they sent me because this also includes my candles from the vintage recipe book collection. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox these and get these sorted, and I will start on the cold impressions and scent notes for us. Alright y'all, I have these open. The labels are awesome. I cannot wait to dig in. I'm just gonna grab one. I did get a sniff of one while moving them around. I honestly don't remember which one it was, but I wasn't crazy about it, which has me a little bit nervous. Okay, first one I grabbed is the Dining Hall Terrors. Beautiful label. Look at it. It's so adorable. So much detail. So you've got the dining room with the candle holder here. You've got Scooby-Doo on the front. I love the font. Skeleton. Just some like scary mansion vibes. A cabinet, a bookshelf. An old clock. Some creepy, looks like, is that a vampire photo on the wall? And then this entire collection has the black gloss lid with the Goose Creek label on it. Just really stunning. Also just well done with the seam, y'all. Like, that is perfection. That is the seam right there. You cannot tell. So beautiful work on the labels with this collection. This has scent notes of warm sugar cookie, vanilla icing, and Scooby sprinkles. That's delicious. This also just smells a lot like, what is it there? Vanilla buttercream. The one with the cake one with sprinkles. Yeah, I don't have that one here as a side-by-side comparison, but if you told me that I was sniffing the buttercream sprinkles candle, I would be like, oh yeah, I know. It's very vanilla. It's very buttercream to me, despite the fact that it just says vanilla icing. I also don't get a warm sugar cookie note on this. To me, this smells like cakey, and if it is a sugar cookie, it would be one of the very thick, doughy ones, not the thin, crunchy sugar cookie. To me, this smells like vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream and sprinkles on it. I'm not upset about that. I like the scent, but I'm left wanting something that A, smells more like a cookie, and 2, that feels more fall. Like, you could put some pumpkin spice in here and make this a pumpkin spice cupcake vibe, and I would have been very, very excited. Still like it, but it doesn't scream fall or Halloween to me at all. And I forgot to show you the wax and wicks. It is blue with... These are thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Okay. Next one I pulled out is the Courtyard Curse. You've got the whole gang on the front. You have a graveyard scene. Punky's jumping up in the background, by the way. Hi, Punky. And looks like it's at twilight, so you've got kind of this twilight sky, sunset vibe. Headstones, spooky trees, beautiful fence. By the way, this is the seam right here. So again, phenomenal job at getting that lined up so that you cannot tell. More trees. You also have, yeah, there's a Grim Reaper over here, which is kind of scary. Take that off so you can see him better. This one has purple wax. And these are more of a medium ropey wick. Got something in my wax there. It almost looks like... Oh, it's a piece of the lid. It's like, it almost looks like a piece of burned wick, but it is like metal flaking from the lid, which seems to have survived. I don't see any issues with it. I don't see chipped paint. There is, however, some serious scratching on the top. Right there. Not a problem for me because I burn my candles, but if I was gifting this, I would be sad. This is Haunted Woods, Black Rose, Soft Patchouli, and Bound Leather. I don't like it. I knew it too. I knew this was going to be one that I secretly loved and really wanted, but that I would not like the way it smells. It's cologne-y / perfumey. I do not like it at all. It's got to be that woods note. First of all, I feel like I get like a moss vibe. Like I feel like there's a moss note in here, but it also is just very sharp, like Vicks vapor rub in my nose, sharp, but not in a eucalyptus kind of way, in a cologne-y kind of way. Yeah, this is straight up like manly woods. I don't even get rose. And I get patchouli, but it's struggling. It's at the base of this, and it's a beautiful patchouli, but it's wrecked by whatever is in that woods note. That's so sad. I don't really feel like I smell leather either. Yeah, this just stinks. I'm still gonna burn it because I have hope, but I don't think this is gonna be one I continue to burn this season. Oh, what a bummer. I was so excited about the chance. I had a feeling this was gonna be cologne-y, but I thought, you just never know. If it is really rose and leather with patchouli, I will be so happy. And then, yeah, it just smells like cologne to me. Parlor Shadows is the next one. Again, you got the whole team on the front. And this one has more of like a greenish teal hue. You've got some interior. I think this is the same cabinet that was in the last one with the dining room one. So similar house scenes, kind of a spooky window there. Really fun. There's the clock and that portrait again. Also black lid. Beautiful green wax on this one. And these wicks are thin, stiff, ropey. Ooh, I like this one. Black plum, dark amber, and sweet musk. Oh, that's yummy. What am I smell something that's familiar. Is that Ghoul Friend? Does Ghoul Friend have plum in it? It's not a one-for-one dupe of Ghoul Friend, but something in here is hitting on Ghoul Friend to me. It's telling my brain that that's what's in it. Yeah, Ghoul Friend is dark strawberries, and for some reason I'm getting like a dark berry vibe from this. I almost feel like I'm getting like a dark cherry vibe from this. Yeah, I feel like whatever the plum note that's in here almost feels a little bit like the fruit note that's in Ghoul Friend. I actually, on cold, I don't get much amber, and there is a sweetness to this, but I wouldn't necessarily identify it as musk if you were to ask me what I was smelling. I think I like it. It also kind of almost gives me like sugar plum vibes, which is different from regular plum. Weird. Not what I was expecting giving the scent notes. Curious to see how it evolves on warm. Haunted House Mysteries is next. So you've got them in the van outside. Again, a nighttime scene. There's the house in the background with another spooky tree. This one, there's the seam there. Again, well done seam. I love scary trees like that. I love the full moon back here. This one has vibrant blue wax, and these are thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Scent notes on this one are aged cedarwood, bright bergamot, black tea leaves, and earthy moss. I was a little worried about the moss note in this one, but I love black tea leaves. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, I really like that. The moss note in here is present, but it is subtle. And it is perfectly in tune with the bergamot note, which is a little bit sharp. It reminds me of the bergamot note that is in Renewing Rain, the aromatherapy line that came out this past summer with Bath & Body Works. So you have like that sharpness from the bergamot, the earthy, almost cologne-ness vibe of the moss note, and then I just get a sort of like woody sweetness. I think that black tea leaf is bringing in some complexity there. And the woody note is just, it's not piney. It smells more like a raw cedar wood. Very natural, Yeah, I love the way the brightness of the bergamot is playing off of the earthiness of the moss and the cedar wood. And the black tea leaves, it almost just feels like it's like a sweet, rich earthiness that's being added there. It doesn't say sweetened tea, but I'm getting like a sweet vibe from it. And that might be because of the way it's playing with the bergamot is making my brain think of the iced tea and lemonade from Bath & Body Works that had lemon in it. But anyhow, this one's gorgeous. Love this one more than I thought I would. Might need to reorder that one. Graveyard Whispers. These are so dusty, y'all. Is the next one. So you have, again, a graveyard scene. A fence here out front with Scooby. Scary trees again. Here's the seam again. Well done. So similar to the other outdoor scene we saw earlier. Same lid. Also a blue wax. This one has, those are Corwicks. Ooh, this one smells so good, y'all. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Reorder time, and I'm going to get like 5 of these. I did not think I would like this one. Of the entire collection, this was the one where I was like, oh no, graveyard soil and wet moss. Y'all. Beautiful. Okay. I gotta focus. Scent notes. Green grass, graveyard soil, and wet moss. Oh, it's so, so pretty. It is earthy, but it almost feels like a patchouli candle in that it's earthy and sweet at the same time. It's not patchouli, but it's the way that that dirt vibe is playing with the sweetness of the green grass. Like, it legit smells like fresh mowed grass mixed with this just deeply earthy smell, and it just is sweet and earthy without being masculine and cologne-y. It's fresh, it's dark, it's mysterious. Yeah, it kind of smells like you took a shovel and dug into some fresh grass, and you got the fresh grass note with this like deep, rich earthiness, and it's just a little bit sweet from, I'm guessing, something that's probably in the moss. There's something a little bit sweet in here. It also feels very ozonic to me. Like how I would feel if I was standing out at twilight digging a grave. Oh my gosh. So good. What? My gosh. This was unexpected, y'all. Wow. I don't want to say this almost upends Witch's Cauldron on cold, but it almost bumps it out of the park. Wow, that's delicious. Little soapy on this last read here. I'm feeling a little bit of a soap vibe from that, but I love it. Last one, I have high hopes. Hopefully I won't be let down. Library Secrets. Scooby all tangled up in a spider web in a library with a ton of books. I love how it's just like kind of eerie and green. You have some potion bottles on the shelves. Stairwell. Again, a perfectly done seam right here. Another bookshelf. More cobwebs. Same black lid. These are medium ropey wicks with kind of a slime green wax. Ooh. Oh my gosh. My heart. I can smell it. I can smell it. I'm so excited. Aged paper, vintage leather book, and warm spices. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. This is very unique because there was the library fragrance, the aged paper candle that was in the other Halloween collection that I said it felt like, I'll put a picture up here because I cannot remember up here of what that candle was called, that I said I felt like that's what Book Loft from Bath & Body Works should smell like, but the bergamot comes through too strong. So you get that same vibe as that candle with the aged paper and the leather. But then the spice note in here just adds this beautiful warmth and complexity. It kind of reminds me of like you're sitting in that library and somebody is either like smoking a pipe Or someone in the other room just baked some like apple crumble and you get that really spicy cinnamon note. It adds sweetness, it adds warmth, and it adds spiciness. And the spiciness to me does smell like a red hot cinnamon. So if that's not your thing, you might not like this. Oh, it's so comforting. It's so warm. It's so cozy. It smells old. It smells like Grandma and Grandpa's house. They haven't dusted for a while. They have a lot of old books, and Grandma just made some sort of crumble. Yes, so glad I ordered a backup of this one. It is actually in California. Takes a long time to get there. It has not arrived yet, but it did here in Michigan. So glad I have a backup of this. And y'all, this one I'm ordering at least 2 more of, this Graveyard Whispers. So let me rank these from least favorite to favorite. Number 6, you're not going to be surprised, is the one with the leather and the rose in it. Despite the fact that I love patchouli, Courtyard Curse is last, and that is because, yeah, it just smells straight up like cologne to me. Parlor Shadows I would do next. I do really like this one. That plum note is just weird to me though. Again, it smells like cherry, sugar plum, and strawberry to me. It smells very artificial. It reminds me a lot of what's in Ghoul Friend. I feel like this could be vampire blood too, because doesn't vampire blood have plum? It's almost like they tried to combine vampire blood with Ghoul Friend. Yeah, that one's plum and red berries. I don't know. It's strange. It's not horrible. And I should appreciate it for what it is, because it's not necessarily trying to be something from Bath & Body Works. But it's confusing my brain, and it feels a little artificial, so I'm making it number 5 on cold. Number 4, Dining Hall Terrors. This is a beautiful fragrance. I just don't think it smells like Halloween, but delicious edible gourmand. Number 3 is Haunted House Mysteries. This is the one that has that moss note in it, but it's really well balanced with the black tea and the bergamot. Depending on how this warms, I might do a backup of that one as well. Library Secrets is number 2. I love how warm and cozy this is. Not quite as dusty and musty as I was expecting, but I like it regardless. And number 1, hands down, no question, probably the best new candle I have smelled so far in all of the Halloween candles I've sniffed. Graveyard Whispers. Y'all, I can't. I just can't with this one. It's so beautiful. But if you don't like fresh grass, you won't like this. But I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, I'm going to go fire these up. I'm going to cut the video. When I get back from the cut, I will have burn footage for you. I'll have lots of insights into strength and throw and how these evolve on warm. I'll be sure to share all my notes and give you all my insights. I'm going to go dig into these awesome Scooby-Doo Halloween candles. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I've spent lots of time with these candles and feel like I went on a little scent adventure. Some of these really evolved on warm. I've definitely changed my mind on a couple of them. I'm going to just rank these from my least favorite to my favorite. I will also note that my testing lab was not consistent throughout the testing period. There are some I'm going to talk about that I had lit with the windows closed and the air conditioner on. It actually was really nice last night, so we opened the windows. So some of them are also tested in an open window, air circulating sort of situation. I'll make sure to make clear which is which, because that can affect things like strength and throw. I'm going to start with my least favorite, which will not be surprising to you if you watch the cold impression, and that is the Courtyard Curse. Let me start with a positive note. This thing is the strongest, most throwing candle I have ever burned in my entire life. Now, the negative of that is I do not like this fragrance, not even a little bit. So if you are looking for a very woody, cologne-y, masculine candle that is a powerhouse, this is going to be your go-to for the Halloween season. That patchouli note is in here. It is very subtle, which for me is weird. Usually patchouli is pretty strong. It adds a little bit of sweetness. The rose comes out a little bit more on warm and adds a little bit of perfuminess. But first and foremost, overwhelmingly, I get a woods note. And I can't smell the leather at all. It is a very, very, very cologne-y masculine candle. Didn't cause a headache, but felt like that style. You know, like so strong it overwhelms you. Now this one I had burning with everything open. The front door has a screen in the living room. The kitchen window was open, and a window in the back of the house in the laundry room was open. I was in the kitchen working. Stepdad actually went out last night. It was so cute. He wanted to go out with his friends and have prime rib dinner. And I was like, you should go. And he's like, really? I feel bad leaving you here. I'm like, dude, get out. Like, go hang out with your bros. You know, go have some scotch and get your prime rib. Go do your, you know, Ducks Unlimited thing. You'll have fun. And so he wasn't here when this was burning, and I'm really glad he wasn't, because I think he would have been really overwhelmed. I did have him sniff it when he got home, and I didn't warn him. I was just like, what do you think of this one? He opened it up. It made him cough. That's how strong it was on cold. And he just said, you know, what the hell is that? I was like, exactly. So he said he was really glad that I tested this when he wasn't around as well. But even with everything open, sitting in the kitchen, I'm like, oh, that's really strong. I wonder if it's all carrying into the kitchen. Got up, went out to the living room. Nope, it has filled the living room space. I came upstairs here into my bedroom. It had filled this space. It had crept out into the hallway. I don't know, it may have filled the last two bedrooms too, but the doors were closed, so I have no way of knowing. It was creeping out into the laundry space. This thing was in every square inch that was open, and that was with all of the windows downstairs open. It's a beast. Not a repurchase for me. This is for sure a one and done, but if you are looking for like an intense cologne woody masculine note, you want this one. Now, 5 and 4 are a toss-up for me. I think I would probably put them pretty much on even par with one another. They're both a little bit weird. They're both a little bit off-putting, but they're both okay enough for me to want in my collection and appreciate for the season. I had a little bit of trouble of ranking which one which, but ultimately I went with number 5 as being Parlor Shadows. And this is the one with the plum note in it. The plum becomes more apparent on warm, although I do feel like it dances a fine line between like a really sweet sugar plum and like a overripe black plum. The other thing is there's a musty note in here that I don't know where it's coming from. It might be coming from that musk note. It ends up smelling a bit like an overripe plum, like almost rotten or moldy sort of fruit. So it's a very dark, mysterious plum note. I still feel like I get a hint of like ambiguous berry in there that reads a little bit like a ghoul friend berry, but then that plum makes me think of vampire blood. And then there's also this like little bit of a hint of something perfumey, probably coming from that amber that reminds me of like the peony that's in Ghoul Friend. So I would put this in the same wheelhouse as those two candles from Bath & Body Works, but it's definitely its own fragrance. In general, the fruit notes on this feel a little bit artificial. I will say that cherry note that I was smelling on cold went away on warm. This one I was testing with the air conditioner on, so everything was closed up, air conditioner going, and it was medium strength and had good throws, so it filled the space. It was definitely present in the living room. I think in a small room this would probably be pretty strong. I don't know how well it would do in something like an open concept space. Glad I have it. I'll be burning it with Ghoul Friend and Vampire Blood this fall. However, not a repurchase for me. The other one that's kind of a toss-up with is my number 4, Haunted House Mysteries. Now, y'all, this one was driving me nuts while it was burning. And it was because I kept sniffing it, and I'm like, this reminds me of something, this reminds me of something, this reminds me of something, and I couldn't place it. So I was just taking my notes. I'll go over my notes first. And I realized on cold, that bergamot note kind of masked the moss. On warm, it's reversed. The moss really amps up, and the bergamot almost feels like it amplifies it. So like the sharpness that's in the bergamot almost makes the sharpness that's in the earthy moss note ramp up. The tea note is present, but I really only get it when I'm right next to the candle, and even then, it's just like a black tea note tannin. It's pretty bitter and feels a bit too strong to me. But it was like the further you moved away, the more you got moss. It was like black tea tannin, add some bergamot, and then you get the moss. It wasn't well blended in the space. Then it hit me. I know what this smells like. Now, this is not going to sound pleasant. However, to me, it was a bit comforting, and it's actually one of the things I like about this candle because it makes it feel a little bit like Halloween and definitely more of a fall candle. If you are in the cooler regions of the country here in the US or in Canada, anywhere in Canada, and you haven't run your furnace all winter, and maybe you didn't check your filters like you're supposed to. By the way, if you burn candles, check your filters. And you turn the furnace on for the first time. And there is this like almost hot, like burning smell a little bit, and you get like a really thick, dusty smell that comes out of the vents. It's like it's purging all the dust, and that you're getting heat for the first time through those lines. It kind of smells like that. So it becomes kind of dusty and earthy and dirty and musty, and it's a vibe. And I think that's why it's even where it is and not in spot number 5. But I think I'm going to be burnt out by the end. I don't think I'm going to be crazy about the moss. So I like it because it's different, but it's also just not for me. Now, in terms of strength and throw, this one I would peg as a medium. So despite it having that mossy note in it, which sometimes can be pretty strong, bergamot can be pretty strong, it was medium at best. This is one that I was testing with the air conditioner on, so there was no circulation of air in terms of like leaving the building. I would even say it maybe leaned more towards light, so medium but on the light side of that. Good throw, filled the space, and this one was a low, slow burn, so it could have something to do with the strength of the flame. It's possible on, burn 3 or 4, it could come to life more, but for now I'm pegging it as a medium strength candle. So this one and number 2, I feel like are interchangeable. I like them both equally. The only reason this is number 3 is because this isn't a fall candle. This just smells like a traditional vanilla frosting, cakey, cookie sort of vibe. It feels almost like a summer candle to me. It's okay, but I want like a pumpkin spice vibe in there to make it feel like it's fall. Now, this one I was testing, was this one windows? No, this was windows open because I was burning this at night after the stepdad got home. Stepdad really liked this fragrance. He loves vanilla, and he really liked this one. I was also shocked by how much strength this had. It filled the living room, and that was with all the windows open. I had the ceiling fan going on with this one too. For vanilla, it did very well. I will say that the notes in this still felt cakey on warm, but I also started to get more of a feel of like a buttery bottom of a very doughy sugar cookie. So it's not brown and kind of crunchy like a thinner sugar cookie would be. It's very much a cakey sugar cookie vibe. The vanilla is very sweet, very beautiful. You definitely get the sense of like just a big gourmand cookie with frosting, or a gourmand cupcake with frosting. Very edible, delicious. Good throw, good strength. I don't have any complaints about this other than the whole time I was like, what would make this better? Some pumpkin spice. So, let's see, anything else? Yeah, I just wrote delicious. So I do like this one. I'm not going to rebuy it though, because it just feels like, a vanilla fragrance. Okay, number 2 is Library Secrets. Y'all, this one is absolutely gorgeous. And on burning this, I'm realizing there's something about this one that reminds me, it's almost like if you took the elements of Book Loft and tuned the bergamot out, right? So take Book Loft, take out the bergamot. Then you take Cozy Sunday Night and you take the ginger note that's in that and you ramp it up and you put the two together. That's what this smells like. In the base note, I feel like I'm getting like that book note vibe, and then you're getting this like really warm spice that feels like a spicy ginger, and it reminds me a lot of the ginger that's in Cozy Sunday Night by Bath & Body Works, but it's a little bit more spicy. So there's either a spice coming from a ginger, like a fresh ginger note, or it's a cinnamon spice. It just says warm spices. It could be both. This is phenomenal. So if you like Book Loft from Bath & Body Works and you like Cozy Sunday Night, you want this candle. It's so comforting. It's so beautiful on warm. This one I had going with the windows open and the ceiling fan on. And it came through as medium strength, not a powerhouse. Better than the Beetlejuice repackaged. Stronger than that one. Good throw. It filled the space. There is one thing I will note about this that might be a little bit off-putting. There's something about the spice in here that ended up reading just a tinge, not enough to bother me, but just a warning, just a tinge like Robitussin. Something almost medicinal. So it was like so spicy that in my mind, it was reading like I just swallowed Robitussin, and you get that like kind of, it almost feels like a burning sensation in your throat and nose. It kind of felt like that. It wasn't off-putting to me. It wasn't too bad. I still love it. But if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you might not like the spice note that's in here. So that one's number 2. And then number 1, y'all, you need this candle. Put it in your cart. I ordered 3 more this morning. So there's a new collection that came out. The Road Trip collection, I think is what they're calling it. Autumn Road Trip. Anyway, bought all of those because most of them are new. And I was like, you know what? More of these are going in the cart. I think I put 3. I think I bought 3 of these, and I picked up 2 more of Witch's Cauldron, shipping it back to California. This is phenomenal. I know I've said this before, that a candle smells like Tuscan herb from Pier 1 Imports. This candle smells exactly like Tuscan herb from Pier 1 Imports. I have been looking for a candle that smells like that since Pier 1 went out of business. This is the closest thing I've ever got. That grass note is so fresh and green. And then with that, you get this like fresh, rich soil, dirt vibe. I almost feel like I am just standing outside at night next to, like I said on Cold Impression, freshly dug grave. This is a beautiful, earthy fragrance. It didn't have to go cologne-y. It didn't have to go too musky. It is just gorgeous. There's no moss in here. It's more of a fresh, clean, beautiful, earthy fragrance. Ugh, if you like green grass, you need this candle. Okay, this one I was burning at night, windows open. Medium strength. I did want it to be stronger. I do think it might be stronger if the windows were closed. I would say that the throw on it was decent. I found it to be a bit elusive. So when I was getting up and walking around, it was hovering more towards the front door where the window was open. I would be sitting on the couch. I would get whiffs of it, but it wasn't consistent. Again, this would probably do better in a closed off space. I think it would do well in a bedroom space. Probably not going to do so well in an open concept, and not so well in a space with all the windows open. So I love this one. I will burn 3 at the same time in an open concept. I love it so much. So far, this has been, next to Witch's Cauldron, my favorite Halloween candle this season. So you need this if you like fresh grass fragrances. And Charity Rose, I'm thinking of you and your hubs. I think he would like this one if you get a chance to pick it up. So y'all get this one, Graveyard Whispers. I might order 2 more. I don't know if I have enough of this one. I love it so much. All right, y'all. Tell me in the comments below, which ones did you pick up? Which ones are you thinking about? Do you have any of these already? Do you have any comments you want to add? Insights? All of that's always so helpful, not only to me, because I pick up on things I didn't until you mention it, but also to my viewers. So put those in the comments below. If you appreciated this review, please give me a thumbs up. That always makes me feel really good. Super thanks are always appreciated, but never expected. And if you aren't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you take off. It helps to grow my channel. It will benefit me in the long run. Also, it makes me feel really excited to keep creating content when I see that people are subscribing. Plus, if you get bored of me or you feel like I spam you can unsubscribe. I won't be offended. All right, tomorrow I have a Bath & Body Works ritual haul. The Hubs is here in Michigan. We're going to go to Bath & Body Works together. Sunday, I have the vintage recipe book collection from Goose Creek. I'm actually burning the pear one behind me right now, and it is fabulous. So you don't want to miss out. If you want, turn on notifications, and then you'll know when that stuff is released. I'll see you again tomorrow. I hope you all have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.